good art.
You know what's wild too? Like Sylvan is someone that I met when I was in LA in 2019, and you got the chance to work with him.
I did, yes.
Yeah, which was wild.
He was the first,
and that kind of came a little bit out of thin air a little bit. Like all of a sudden it was just like, oh, here's the opportunity. We got to take it. And we were working closely on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was working on my song "Haunted," which you can stream everywhere. It's a really good song, if I do say so myself.
Yeah. By the way, there's no bias in this interview today.
None at all.
No
we all know I'm great. That's just a fact.
There's no bias.
So, I had been a fan of Sylvan's for a while. I was like, I love a lot of his songs. I love Best Me. I love Apologies in Advance. That whole album is really awesome.
Right.
And then he posted on Instagram that he was doing features, and I talked to you about it, and we were just like, well, I got to take this opportunity. I might as well shoot my shot. I have this song that I had been working on for a year prior to that, where I wrote my verse, I wrote the choruses, I made the whole beat. It was all ready to go, and I knew I only wanted to do the first verse, because I said everything I had to say on the topic.
Right. I remember us like breaking this down.
Because at one point I was considering doing the whole song,
and
then it was just like, no, that just feels wrong. I already said my piece.
Well, you kind of mentioned that you were almost not struggling, not the right word. I'm just going to use it for the sake of not finding a better word. That like you couldn't think of what else you wanted to say on it.
Yeah,
you know,
I was struggling with that.
I
was like so stumped with it.
Yeah,
and then I
does that happen often, or is it pretty easy for you to like differentiate? All right, I know I'm going to do a full song to this, or like does it kind of come in the moment when you're like, all right, that's it, that's all I've had to say? It's
complicated. For me, I believe everything will find its place. There's a George Carlin quote. I'm going to butcher it, but he says something along the lines of write down every idea.
Yeah.
Never throw it away. Write it down. Keep it. It's important. It will find its purpose.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah.
To me, every single idea that I have, whether it's an idea for a TV show that I'm writing, or a part I want to play because I'm an actor also.
Yeah.
Rap is one of the many things that I do.
Yeah.
Or an idea for an improv show I want to create, or ideas for lyrics, or even if I write 2 bars here or a full verse here but doesn't have a beat. They all have their place, and they will all find where they're supposed to be. It just takes time.
Yeah.
I have songs that came together over years because I would write a little bit here, and I would know there's something in that. There's something important in it, and I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it's because it wasn't the right time for me to come up with the rest of it.
Yeah.
I would have been ahead of the level that I had built myself to if I had found it there. And sometimes it takes that extra time to get where you're supposed to go. For instance, with Haunted, to circle back, when I got when I pitched the song to Sylvan, he was like, hell yeah, I'll be on the track. It's a dope song.
Yeah,
and
he
so
got back to you right away.
Yeah, and then he jumped on the song, and I was over the moon. His verse was awesome. It is awesome. Go listen to it, please.
He's slept on. My favorite song from him is Eyelids. I have a bit of a crazy story about that. It's very short, but when I was in LA, I was with some, artists that I was, just kind of like kicking around with at the time, and we were all kind of out there, and we were visiting different studios or whatever, and one of the small studio kind of like out on the outskirts of LA, so it was about an hour drive from where we were staying out in Malibu or whatever, but like we were just like kicking around verses, and he spit this one verse, and it ended up becoming one of his verses on the song Eyelids. And I remember like thinking to myself, where have I heard this before? And I'm like, I heard him rehearse that in the studio like months before the song came out. And I was like, that's just a crazy like thing that, you know what I mean? I kind of like keep with me. But I remember being in the studio when he was like, I'm just writing this verse or whatever. I don't know if it's going to become anything. Ended up becoming one of my favorite songs by him.
That's
nuts.
Awesome.
His Haunted verse is dope as well.
Oh, yeah. And it's all timing, too. Because then soon after that, I met Luke Gahn. I was an actor. I did a bunch of stunts in one of his music videos. And from that, I was like, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Gahn is such a nice guy. Actually, shout out to Gahn. He actually just had a song be released
with the video.
yesterday, 2 days ago, called Hurt with Atlas, and it is awesome. I'm in that music video too. I did a bunch of stunts. There's 3 consecutive shots where I die. It was super fun. So I met him. I pitched him Haunted.
Right.
And I was like, hey man, I would love for you to be on this song, to do the third verse, to close it all out. I think you would be incredible on it. And being the nice guy that he is, he took a chance on me, because at that point I was even smaller than I am now, and only had, you know, 1 album out and not a whole lot to show for it. And he took a chance on me, and I'm so grateful for that, because he spat such an awesome verse. And it really tied the whole song together. But that song couldn't have happened unless all of the timing was right. Everything happened at exactly the right time to get me where I needed to go, to get the song to all come together. If I had done if I had gone against my instincts and written the whole song all at once, it would have been wrong. It just would have felt wrong.
Well, that song got playlisted on Spotify. Yeah, it's streamed. Yeah, people like that one.